Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So this is level 1 stretching, basically for beginners. In this video we're just covering a few stretches for your back and upper body, especially your arms, because that's something almost no one stretches. It's really important to have flexible and strong muscles. Can't just have one or the other. That's when injuries happen, especially when we get older. So it's good to have a balance. We hold the stretch for quite a while. We want to get into the fascia, actually releasing that tissue surrounding the muscle. What actually happens is, if you hold a stretch for less than 30 seconds, your body doesn't register that you're not trying to hurt it. So it actually doesn't release. If you go into a stretch, you'll feel the muscle contract to protect the body and the muscles from tearing or overstretching. When you hold that for long enough, your body registers, okay, I'm not going to get hurt. And it starts to release, and that's when you benefit from the stretch. Okay guys, let's start. So we're going to start with a warm-up, opening up into the side body. We want to get those lats nice and loose. Let's just give a few wiggles here. Keep on breathing. It's really important to keep on breathing throughout. And we're going to hold it for a little bit longer. You should feel a nice stretch in your sides. We're going to open up to the back and crunch forward, rounding in the spine, chin to your chest. Nice and open, squeeze the shoulder blades when you go back. And we're going to give a wiggle side to side. Feel that nice stretch in the lower back. You can sit in any comfortable seated position, and we're just going to stretch those sides further. Reaching over, try and get the shoulders in line. Open up the top shoulder. And reach, lengthen as much as you can. We're just warming up. And you're going to reach that right arm far to the side, bending your left elbow, trying to connect your chin to your shoulder. And we repeat it on the other side. Try and lengthen. You should feel an intense stretch in your shoulder. And we're going to reach over further, feeling a stretch in the side, warming up, getting the blood flowing. Keep breathing. A few cat and cows. And arch your back, inhale, try and sink the belly down and then round your back up. Do a few rounds in your own time, warming up the spine. It's super important to warm up the spine. And we move forward and back. And arch and repeat. Keep pressing your thumb into the mat. And we do a few barrels, get the spine moving, do whatever feels good. Just warming up the spine. Try and focus on your pelvic area and your lower back here. Trying to wake up those muscles and joints. You're going to reach your arms forward a little bit and sink your hip down to the floor, feeling an intense stretch in your left side. And come through center and repeat on the other side. Keep on lengthening up, elongate your spine. Think of arching your back if you feel nothing. Try and keep your knees exactly where they are in your box position. It might look like nothing, but it is quite an intense stretch in your sides. And you're going to sink your arms down further, coming into your puppy pose, trying to stretch into the shoulder area. Super important to keep your chest on the floor as far as possible. Trying to sink this chest down. Trying to sink the shoulders down to the floor. Try and keep your chin on the mat. If it's too intense, drop your forehead to the mat. We go for round 2. Try and hold it, keep breathing. Pull your belly button in and up. And we're going to try and make it more intense by bending our elbows. Connect your fingertips and try and put your hands behind your head. If you can't do this, stay in your first variation and shake it out. Round 3, we're going straight into bent elbows. Try and sink those shoulders down as deep as you can. Breathe, belly button in and up. Release the back, release the tension. And slowly come out, straightening your arms. Thread the needle, sink that right arm down, lengthen your left arm onto the mat. The idea is not to stretch your shoulder, but creating a twist in the spine. And we repeat to the other side. Threading it through, and you can bend that left arm touching your shoulder, trying to twist even more. Keep breathing. And shake it out. We're going to come into a seated position here and pull the right elbow up and behind our head. Try and anchor your arm with your head, pushing your head back against your arm. And we repeat it to the other side, pulling that elbow far behind your head, pushing your head back against your arm. Your shoulders should be quite loose. Make sure your arms are in line behind you. We're just gonna sink into those shoulders. Try your best to try and pull those shoulders down and back. You should feel the stretch in your chest and shoulder area. It's normal if you feel it in your forearms. Just keep on breathing here, relax into the stretch. You can move from side to side, whatever helps you release the tension. Keep pulling your belly button in. Open the chest. Gonna elongate the arms to your sides, pressing the index finger onto your mat. Try and lengthen. You should feel a pinching feeling in your arms. It's a deep arm stretch. And drop your chin, focus on your middle finger into the mat, and proceed with all your fingers, moving your head up and down, adjusting to feel the stretch. And we're going to bend our elbows and anchor it behind our back, leaning over to your right, connecting your chin to your shoulder. And repeating to the left. shake it out, release it. Forearm stretch, connect your knuckles and push forward. Do not lose the connection. Even if your elbows are bent, one day you'll just be able to straighten them. Something we rarely do, so don't be too hard on yourself. And stretch forward, interlocking your fingers and up and down. Here we go. First pose. You should be nice and warm now. Cobra position, and we're going to roll up slowly through the spine. Be very easy with yourself here. We're going to do 10 rounds of rolling up and rolling down. Think of every single vertebra rolling up and rolling down. Keep breathing and pulling your belly button in and up. Up a little bit further, finishing your 10 rounds in your own time. Focus on straightening your arms as much as you can without feeling any pain. Discomfort is good, pain not so much. And on your 10th round, stay up and try and twist, pushing the right shoulder back, coming through center and pushing the left shoulder back. It should be quite intense, so if you just want to stay in center, you can do that. And roll down and rest, left cheek on the mat. Keep breathing. And we're going for round 2 of hold. We roll up and drop your chin for me and wiggle right shoulder back. Hold it a little bit longer through center to the left shoulder. Pull it back. Center, hold, breathe, belly button in and up. And roll down. And place your other cheek on the mat. And we're going for our last round. We try and do 3 rounds. Push up for me. Drop your head backwards and hold. Breathe. Pull your belly button in and up. And roll down, opposite cheek on the mat. And moving on to pose number 2, camel pose, which is quite an intense middle and lower back stretch. I want you to push your hips forward, placing your hands in your lower back. Fingers can face up, down, or to the side, whichever feels comfortable. We're going to do 10 rounds of just pushing the pelvis forward, warming up that part of your spine. Keep breathing, keep pulling the belly button in and up. Each round going in a little bit deeper, pushing the hips a little bit more forward. Once you're done with your 10 rounds, I suggest folding your mat double or using a pillow under your knees because it does get quite intense. Going into the pose, pushing the hips forward, and as soon as you're ready or able to, drop your hands to your ankles, thumbs on the outside of your foot, and push your hips forward. You should feel quite a deep stretch in the whole front part of the body. Tucking your chin to your chest, hands in your lower back, and recovering. And we're going for round 2. Hands in your lower back, hips forward, sliding the arms down to your feet and pulling. I suggest keeping your mouth open here if you feel like you can't breathe. Keep breathing and keep pulling the belly button in and up. And just come out of it and sit down, breathing. You might feel blood rush to your head. That is completely normal. And we're going for round 3. Try and give it all you got. This is the last time we're doing this pose. And pull hard on your heels. Tucking your chin to your chest, hands in your lower back, and recovering. Unfolding your mat, just going into an easy child's pose. You can widen your knees a little bit. Try and sink your bum down to your heels. Just relax here, melt the chest down. Just lengthening the spine. We did quite a bit of bending backwards. Now we're going to start with our inversion sequence. Sitting onto your heels and just round your spine down, chin to your chest. Give a wiggle side to side. Release that back. So we're going to go into what is called a rabbit pose, sitting onto your heels, grabbing onto your heels and pulling hard, lifting your bum up and forward, rounding the spine. It is quite uncomfortable, but you do get used to the stretch and it is so good for you, rounding the spine after bending so much. And we're just going to sit, lift the knees, interlace the fingers behind the knees and just sink back, rounding your pelvis down, scooping. And we're going to go into what is called a plow pose, where we lift our legs up and over behind our head, trying to lengthen through the legs. But if you can't straighten your legs, you're welcome to bend as long as your hips are stacked onto your shoulders, supporting your lower back with your arms. Super important not to look around in this pose. Your neck is compromised. And rolling down slowly. We're going to windshield wipe our knees and legs. Quite a nice release in that lower back. Next up, we're going to start with our twisting sequence, lifting the leg over, trying to twist in the spine. And repeat it to the other side. Lay flat on your back, and we're going to do our second last twist, lifting that right knee up into the shoulder, taking it through center to the left, looking to your right. The lower the knee, the deeper the twist. And we repeat it to the other side. Try and keep your shoulders on the floor. Taking your knees into your chest, give a few rocks with a rounded spine. It is such a nice massage on your mat. Last stretch. You're going to bend both your knees, anchor with your right arm behind your back, left arm onto the knee and twist. Try and twist all the way through. Turn your head to get that nice twist through the neck, elongating that spine and just wringing everything out. Drop a comment if you want more. There is going to be an intermediate and advanced stretch class, so stay tuned for that.